Good morning. Welcome to the April 9th version of your curriculum and instruction class. Today, what we'll do, can you hear the dog that's whining outside my door? Hopefully not, but that's really annoying. Today, what we're going to do is just quickly go over the elements of what's called backward design unit planning. I'm going to introduce the competency 1 through 4 assignment to you, and we'll go over what the requirements are for that. It sounds pretty daunting, like there's 4 competencies in there. When we break that down, maybe you've already looked at it, it's not quite so daunting. And then the other thing that we'll do, I think, because next week was supposed to be a week that you were to go out into schools, we were only supposed to have 1 class next week anyway, according to the syllabus. Probably what I'll do on Tuesday is I will actually do that as an office hour. And so if you have questions about the competency assignment, you can drop by on Tuesday and ask. Otherwise, we probably won't have I say physical class, but you know what I mean, like a face-to-face session. But I will be here if you have questions for the assignment. Right now, the due date's April 13th. I'll move that to April 15th probably, so that you have a chance to ask questions and things like that. What else would I say about that? The competency is remember what we said at the beginning. Some of the other stuff's negotiable as far as what you turn in versus what you don't turn in. The competency is something that you have to have done in order to pass the course. And if things come up or whatever, if you keep me in the loop, we can do delayed grades or what have you. But I feel like if I put it out here now, you'll have time to get it done. And then if it comes in and after I check it and give you feedback, if you need to make changes, we still have lots of time for you guys to do that. And that can be the purpose also of the Tuesday class. So remember what we'll do, introduce the assignment today. Tuesday will be like an office hours kind of thing. And then the next face-to-face session that we'll do for everybody will be on Thursday. And I'll send an email out with, hopefully actually with Zoom links this time. And you can file those away. So let me share my screen with you real quick. That is not the right. Okay, you see Intro to Curriculum Instruction, Day 6? Is that what you see on your screen? Okay. So let's do a quick little sort of review type of thing. The last thing that we talked about, how do teachers know what to teach? We talked about unit planning. You looked at the curriculum map, some sample units. You went to the Colorado State website, looked at some sample units as kind of an introduction to this idea of backward design. And remember that the curriculum map is the identification, as it says on the screen here, identification of those individual units that will be taught. So beginning in August and continuing up through May, what is it that you're going to teach throughout the school year? What's the scope and sequence of your stuff? How are your units organized? And so for this next portion of the class, you're going to take a closer look at a unit plan that's been developed actually by former members of this program. So people that have graduated within the last couple of years, one of the things they do toward the end of the program is develop an actual unit plan using backward design. And so we're going to let you go through that sample unit plan that people your age have basically developed and kind of annotate that plan toward the end. Just a quick review of the 3 stages of backward design. We talked about this, but again, you can kind of see that. The first thing you do is you break down your standards and you identify the results, what you want your students to be able to do. The next thing that you do is determine the acceptable evidence of learning. That means you design the assessments. And the third thing that you do then is you plan the learning experiences and instruction so that students can actually meet those assessments and accomplish the standards that you set forth. Excuse me. So as you can see, Understanding by Design, or UBD, is a way of thinking purposefully about curricular planning. It's got that 3-stage design process, as we've said. I'll read one more thing off here, and then you can read the rest of it. But the primary goal of Understanding by Design is student understanding, the ability to make meaning of big ideas and transfer their learning. So one of the things you'll see probably on the unit plan that you're going to annotate is this idea of transfer goals. And I think that was one of the terms on the scavenger hunt that you did earlier, a transfer goal. something that a student can take from the class over the long term and transfer the skills that you've taught him or her into actual life settings for themselves. That's a transfer goal. And that's one of the overall things that understanding by design allows us to accomplish with our students. Exploring the model, again, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And this PowerPoint's available on our class website if you want to kind of go a little more in depth than I just did. But I've talked about that so much over the last several days. I don't want to throw that at you again. But you can take a look at it. You'll be trying to find those different stages when you annotate the unit plan. So let's take a look at competency 1-4. Actually, competencies 1 through 4. Stop sharing on this screen. And okay, so on the course website, in modules, which I haven't shared with you yet. Hang on, sorry, let me reshare. Okay, there we go. Week 3, and then we've got assessment competencies 1 through 4. And when you click on that, this screen comes up, and it's got 2 things. One is the actual document that you fill out. Okay, I'm going to open that here. I'll share that with you in just a second. And the other thing is that we have a sample unit plan that we want you to look through. Okay, so like on the Colorado State website, you were able to go and find multiple different unit plans to explore. For this assignment, we have a unit plan that we want you to explore. It's the one that was done by those students that I kind of showed you at the beginning here, okay? Please annotate that plan, not any other one, just because, honestly, because I'm more familiar with this plan. And if we're all on the same page with that, then the feedback will be a lot smoother and simpler. So we have the plan for you. It's located right in the actual competency document. But let's take a look at the assessment first. I've opened the document. What screen do you guys see? Do you see the document, or do I need to reshare? I need to reshare? Okay. Sorry. Okay. So here's the actual document itself. Okay, when you open that link, here are the different competencies that we want you to meet. We're going to have you locate standards on state websites. We're going to have you locate and define academic language of curriculum and instruction. So that scavenger hunt that you guys filled out at the beginning of class, that's a good resource for something for competency 2. Okay. Identifying instructional strategies that you find in the model unit plan. So remember Marzano and Hattie. And then the other thing we want you to do is differentiate between instructional strategies and learning activities. Remember, there's a difference between activities and strategies. We'll want you to speak to those differences, identify the strategy and the activities connected to it. So what you'll actually see in the document are the activities, and you'll have to identify the activities and then have to figure out what strategy matches the activity. Does that make sense? Okay. Stuff that you need, the unit plan, as I said, I'll open that for you here in a second. This protocol, and then access to a computer. Obviously, if you're speaking with us, if we're speaking to each other today, you've got access to that. The rubric is here. You can kind of see what you need to do as far as locating state standards. Go to the DESE website, find those state standards. Locate and define academic language, identify instructional strategies and model unit plans, and differentiate between those strategies and learning activities. So that's the 4 things that you need to kind of accomplish. And here's the actual protocol itself. Just literally go through the questions. There should be just 4 questions, and find the standards that are located on the unit. Find 5 examples of academic language, 10 examples of strategies, and 10 examples of learning activities. Now here's the deal with this. These questions 3 and 4 in the past have kind of confused students, and I meant to actually flip these, and then I forgot to do that. So really what you should do is question 4 first. Go through the document, the unit plan, find the activities, okay? And then use those same activities to talk about the instructional strategies, okay? Find 10 activities, write those down, and then take those same 10 activities and connect them to instructional strategies. If you do it that way, it'll be so much simpler for you as opposed to trying to find 10 examples of each of those things. Find the activities first, and then go back to your documents about Marzano and Hattie and connect those activities to the strategies to which they belong. Okay, that's it. That's the 4 things. Each question is a competency. Some of them are easier than others, but those are the things. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to go back to our course website, and here's the unit plan. Just again, this is the one we want you to use. So I'll open this. I'm going to stop sharing this screen again, and eventually I will open the unit plan and share that with you. Okay, let me try to share that again. Okay, so your sample unit plan is going to look like this, and you can see it's a social studies plan. These are the authors. These are students who went through the program just a few years ago. It's a 4th grade plan. Now, some of you are not going to be elementary school teachers. Some of you are not going to be social studies teachers, but the elements of the unit plan are the same throughout. Okay, does that, like, whether you do a math plan in high school or an elementary social studies plan, the elements of understanding by design are the same. So stage 1, desired results. Stage 2, evidence. Stage 3, learning plan. And this is where the actual classroom activities kind of take place. So if you're looking for activities, you probably find them in here. Activities and strategies connected with them. The assessment portion then would be in evidence, and the desired results, where you find the standards and things like that, that comes in stage 1. Okay, so this is the plan that we ask you to use. We ask you to use that protocol. And now the other thing then would be the due date. Right now, I think it's listed as April 13th. I will change that to the 15th, so that once again, if you have questions, this will be just like open office hours on April 14th. You can Zoom in if you need to. If not, then I will see you on Thursday. Okay? Okay, questions? I just threw an awful lot at you for 15 minutes. Sorry about that. Okay, pretty straightforward. So again, if you do have things that are on your mind that you're not quite getting, you can either send me an email, and I'll try to answer it as best I can. It might honestly be best just to Zoom in and ask those questions on Tuesday if you've got them. And as soon as I get off here, I'll adjust the due date to the 15th. Other than that, it's like the weekend almost. So go out into the front yard and celebrate. You know, really, really tear it up there, man. Go to the picnic table in the back, stand on it, whatever it is that you need to do. And we'll see you maybe on Tuesday, but definitely on Thursday. Okay? All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you later. Be safe.